Welcome back to Business 24 on IBrandTV. Now joining me to discuss the topic for today, insurance in Nigeria, ensuring SMEs survival, is Dr. Olushola Oluwoyeye. Now, according to the Managing Director, SBG Insurance Brokers Limited, Lagos, Sami Dalmeida, the rate of insurance penetration in Nigeria has been regarded as one of the lowest and the worst in Africa, with a 0.5% penetration rate. That is as of March 2022.
I can hear you any longer.
Can you hear me? Hello, doctor. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here right with you.
Okay. Should I repeat? Should I start from the very beginning?
Okay, yeah, it's better because at some point I didn't hear you when you were about to mention SGB.
But I believe I am very clear right now, right?
Yes,
beautiful.
It's clear now.
Okay, now, according to the Managing Director, SBG Insurance Brokers Limited, Lagos, that's talking about Sami Dalmeida, the rate of insurance penetration in Nigeria has been regarded as one of the lowest and the worst in Africa, with a 0.5% penetration rate as of March 2022. And the question is, what is your reaction to this very report?
Okay, thank you very much. And I must tell you that statistic is very, very correct. And this is backed by PwC reports. And if you also go by NIA, which is Nigerian Insurance Association, concentration currently on insurance for Nigeria is less than 1%, which shows that there's still a huge gap that we need to close. And for us to be able to do this, or why are we having this kind of a gap, starts from us, first of all, getting to understand that there is huge education gap. There's huge unawareness about the need for insurance and how insurance, we need it to be able to boost the Nigeria economy. So I would like us to, first of all, view this from the perspective of lack of education on insurance, not having sufficient knowledge about how powerful insurance can help us to transform this economy and take us to the next level.
Are you still there, doctor?
Yes, I'm right here with you.
Yes, there is no doubt. Very few Nigerians have knowledge of what insurance is all about. In fact, marketers, those who go around enlightening Nigerians on what insurance is all about, will tell you from their experience, from the reaction of most Nigerians. Why is this education or information concerning this very important sector so laid back?
Okay, thank you very much. And if I consider what you just explained now, and showing clearly that stakeholders in the industry are doing so many things to be able to increase the level of education and also to increase the level of awareness. But there's this strong thing that is holding us back in us accepting insurance as much as possible. It's something I would title the culture, the attitude towards insurance. An average Nigerian will say, God is my protection, and instead of treating transactions in a way and manner that it should be seamless, both parties in the transaction should seek for protection in case anything goes wrong. So we need to address this culture, we need to address this attitude, and it has to start from a foundational level. It has to start from, involving it in our curriculum. It has to be something that has to be discussed even in social settings, not necessarily in schools, not necessarily in businesses alone, but also in the social sector. We need to start talking about insurance so that we can change the culture. We can get people to understand more why there is need for insurance, as against just relying on only one source for a way of protecting themselves. Because insurance is about diversifying possible exposure and we are coming together to protect ourselves.
Whose responsibility is it to carry out this education?
Okay, now I will put a major priority of the communication or responsibility of this awareness to start first from the government. And from government, then people need to take responsibility. However, regulatory-wise, if there's enough regulation that allows insurance to cut across different level in our educational system, discussing it across different sectors, including other secular sectors, it will really help to drive this. But government has a major responsibility in this regards.
All right. Now, recently, Vice President of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, LCCI, Wenga Ismail, said that only 0.5% of SMEs in Nigeria have an insurance policy compared to the 54% global average. What implications will this have on the economy if this persists?
Okay, now if we are to look at the impact on SMEs, just like you have mentioned, and I'm so much glad about your introduction earlier today, giving the global perspective of the impact of SMEs. We know that in Nigeria today, 48% of the GDP of this country is currently dependent on the SMEs, and 96% of the businesses in Nigeria are SMEs. Also, to further buttress that point, 84% of employment in Nigeria is also throughout SMEs. This is according to Nigerian Bureau of Statistics and PwC report. Now, looking at impact and looking at how SMEs currently operate and how insurance, it's a tough task for insurance company to really be able to embrace insurance, cut across different factors. First of all, I want us to observe it from an internal factor point of view, and also external factors that are uncontrollable, those that are beyond the reach of the owners of the business. So first of all, let's look at the internal factors. SMEs in Nigeria, in terms of putting right governance structure in place, they cannot even afford putting a proper board structure or putting a proper, organizational structure that to enable them to be able to ensure accountability and responsibility. Another major factor internally is the capital is not even enough or sufficient. So affordability is also a big issue. Most of these businesses also at their early stage are not profitable enough not to now say they want to be able to afford to be able to pay for insurance. So these are factors internally that we need to first of all address before we start now also looking at other external factors that also affect SMEs from being able to afford this. First of all, the regulations currently now does not currently differentiate how SMEs access insurance compared to how big organizations and corporate organizations do. At least with the Finance Act, we've seen how government has been able to intervene to protect SMEs in terms of payment of tax. Okay, when your revenue are still within a certain limit, you will not be allowed to pay some certain form of tax. However, once your volume of transactions get above 100 million, you get into the tax net. Do we have such a provision for insurance? No. Government can intervene in this area to be able to allow more insurance work penetration at SMEs level.
All right. Now, some experts are of the opinion that all SMEs are exposed to all risks. They say some business owners do not consult the right insurance professionals to help identify the risks critical to their business survival. What do you think about this? In other words, what do you think are the factors responsible for this very issue?
Okay, thank you very much. And this goes back to my first, conversation with you as regards education knowledge. I would say there are three key stakeholders in this industry. We have the underwriters, we have the broker, and then we have the insured. Even though there are other key stakeholders. But let's look at it from these three major perspectives. Underwriters are the insurance company that, take on the risk, while the insured are the ones that need protection. In between the underwriter and the insured is where we brokers play. An average Nigerian currently don't understand the role of a broker, does not even know what it costs or what benefit is going to derive using a broker to be able to provide a protection. Now, a broker role, let me just give you in a very simple form, is a professional role, a professional advisory role in which the law even does not make the insured to make any payment, so it comes at no cost. So brokers are not going to charge you any fee to be able to provide advice to them. It is the underwriting firm that are going to make payments for any businesses that comes through a brokerage firm. So if Nigerians are knowledgeable about this, they should know that all businesses that has to do with insurance should be channeled through a broker. A professional must advise you. A professional should do an assessment. A professional should be able to say, this is the kind of policy that will protect the kind of business you are doing. And as you are growing, then your professional advice, will be giving you professional advice on how you need to scale up on different types of assets, different types of exposure you are going to be engaging or being involved with, and we can provide you with the right protection. But take this from me, insurance protection through a broker comes at no cost to the insured. It is the underwriting firm that bears the cost.